All right, in this video, I will share with you conversations that I had with 4 Indians. All 4 are my clients. All 4 are the people I know very well. Um, I've been involved in them, from rebranding themselves, resume rebrand, interview coaching, getting the job, and we have kept in touch over the years. So that is why I'm very confident in what I'm about to share with you. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, you must be wondering what kind of content is this? I've always been involved in, people who want, especially Indians, who want to improve on their career or migrate abroad or improve on themselves as a personal brand. Okay, so watch this video at 1.5x speed or faster than that. You can take down notes if you want. And if you have any questions, feel free to either comment down below or send me, uh, a private question. All right. Now, the 4 people that I'm talking about, and yeah, the reason why I share these bits and pieces of this experience is because a lot of you who go through the internet, watch YouTube videos, but the problem is that is a media narrative. And people who have YouTube channels where they are saying, wow, look at this place and all that, they have a particular agenda in mind. Like, for example, you get a lot of people who make videos about Thailand is so cheap, $1 you can live on, per day, and $3, rent and this and that. That's all bullshit. Okay, it's not sustainable. It is only if you are a backpacker, you're coming here for 2-3 days and you want to get out, or you're a bachelor, or you're comfortable sleeping on the floor, and it's very misleading. So what happens is um, people tend to ask a lot of questions. They have a lot of expectations. So in this video, I'll give you 4 different individuals. One is Canadian. Okay, one is in Canada. The other one is Australia and India, sometimes Dubai. Third one is Dubai, and fourth one is in Abu Dhabi, Alain. Okay, Abu Dhabi, Alain. That is, you're talking about. He works and lives there. Okay, in UAE. All right. So let's start. The first call I had was to my Canadian friend who I've known him for now 8-9 years. He went to Canada with his wife. Proper channels through education qualifications. Struggled for the first 6 months. Eventually, his wife got a job first because she had prior Canadian education, and her, folks and relatives were there, so they were able to help her out. The guy struggled a little bit because all his experience was Dubai based. Okay, Indian passport holder, both of them. So they started off. They had the jitters and the struggles like everyone else. Today he has kind of settled down. The family kind of helped them with the house and all that. So I asked him, like, what advice would you give Indians about Canada migrating, or what is going on right now, being October? So what he said is the Canadian work environment is very different to the Dubai work environment, to the Indian work environment. He said here you are closely monitored. You're come to the office to work. You're not come to the office to scroll on your phone, and it's very particular. You are given a job, you're supposed to do it, and that's how they keep it. The place where he works, or the industry that he works, is filled with a lot of seniors who are actual Canadian whites. But lately there has been a massive, especially after COVID, a massive number of Indian recruits, and not the riffraff ones. All of them are like educated and qualified. The only problem most of them face is the language, because they have their Indian dialect. So when an Indian speaks in English, it seems that they have to speak a little slower or more clearer. So sometimes it borderlines between putting on an accent. Um, what surprised most of the Indians is you work a fixed number of hours and you have to take an off. It is not looked upon very bravely or like wow that you're working for free and you're working harder than anyone. There's no kiss ass. Just do your work. You finish your time out. That's it. And he's working in industry. He has asked me to keep it confidential. So they worked in shift wise, and the organization is kind of flexible, whereby you work a certain number of days, and then you're given a couple of days off. So depending on your manager and the management, you can merge your days together, and you can work. Let's say, for example, I'm just giving an example. You can work, say, 2 months, 3 months no, with only just one day off, and then take all your days off for a 1 month complete holiday. So it's not everywhere, some places. Uh, he has tried very hard to get a promotion, but his manager said, don't be too aggressive. It's not looked upon very positively. Canadians value much more of a family based environment where they want everyone working together as teams and not like the American cowboy approach of I'll work myself to death. If you can't match up, you're out. Um, he's in a peaceful and quiet neighborhood, although he has stated that concerns about robberies and crimes. He didn't experience any, but someone that he knew had a break in on their car, the guy holding a gun, and it seems it rattled off his friend. Um, he was very happy to bring his parents and his relatives to Canada, but they didn't like it very much because of the weather. And the only complaint he has is one is life in Canada is very, very expensive. They cannot afford to go out because they have a plan, a budget, what they are supposed to save, and they have, a couple of personal loans that they have taken from relatives where they have to pay back. So eating out is a dream. Watching movies is a dream. They just go to work and they come back home and happy, happy. That's about it. So this is in terms of my Canadian client. He did emphasize that the more experience you have in Canada and the more education that you have in Canada that is recognized, the more better it is. Oh, yes, and he did express his disdain and dislike for what our Indians are doing in Canada. They come there, many of them with fake degrees, many of them with fake qualifications, many of them don't know how to speak the language. I asked him whether it was North or South. He hesitated in saying, but then he said, it's predominantly the North Indians who he is not very happy with. South Indians, it seems, they always have this bad tendency sometimes to take free stuff, which has been brought about, highlighted in the media. And he's saying, he also told me that because of all this that has been happening, now Indians are not looked upon very favorably. There's only so much media brainwashing that can be done. Okay, so next one is Australia. This Indian is a businessman. He has regular trips that he goes down to Australia because he has property, he has stuff over there. His children are studying there. He has his business and property in India, and he's also started in Dubai. He surprised me by telling me that he has not had a permanent employee ever since, means new employees, since AI took over. He always is looking at various options. He said if he has encouraged his own employees to study AI, he has even paid for them. And he wants them to train each other, improve on their processes, which many of them took interest. And if someone does leave, he always tries to figure out a way how they can work without having this new person come over. He was really pissed off about how AI is being misused. He had a couple of bad experiences with bad hires, bluffing on the CV, and even interviews that people were giving were scripted and people are using AI. So ever since he had those bad experiences, if anyone sends him a CV, he just ignores everything that is there because he knows most of them are using AI. And he talks to them and tells them that uh, if you can come down here, common ground, I would like to meet you face to face. And all his interviews are done face to face with his trusted employee or a team member, and they don't go through the CV at all. Straight face to face communication. In fact, some of them, he has told me that where they try to impress me with what they have online, I literally make them do the work and show me. And if they can't do the work, means you are bluffing and you try to use AI to camouflage your reality. And he doesn't fall for it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So, and most of the people he employs them on contractual basis. He tried Indians in Australia, very expensive. He tried Indians in Dubai. He found them too much of bluffing and bullshit. So the Indians in India, he has a couple of key people that he knows in different companies who recommend through reference, contractual basis. And he has gone in the direction whereby he pays them for the project work. Pays them for the project work if it is something big. Otherwise, he tries them per hour. How much do they charge? And he gives them his websites, his legal team, legal fees. All that is based on step-by-step experience. And he pays a good retainer fee to ensure peace of mind. So as of now, he has 12 employees at a senior level, surprisingly. Means their roles are senior, whereby he pays them retainer fees that anytime he needs anything to be done, like for example, let's say website, payment gateway, issues, problems with the bank, whatever, just one phone call or one email, 24/7 is a service. Or let's say legal team, he has a legal issue, just one phone call, and he doesn't have to bother anything about them. Like I said, he pays a premium. So whether it's travel, whether it's having legal counsel, whether it is employment, whether it's visas, whether it's Australia, India, wherever, is ensured that he has the professionals. But his key choice of recruitment is in India because Australia is a bit too high, and Dubai is, in his own words, too much of bullshit sometimes. Okay, the next one is senior HR manager for a group of companies. This guy, we've been close for 13 years. It's unbelievable. I've literally witnessed his growth. He's not a frequent client, but whenever I call him, he's always there to give me the inside information. Right now, what he has told me about Dubai, he's in Dubai, by the way. He stays in an expensive area. He said the traffic is unbearable. He said, I took up this new place with the expectation traffic would be less. He's saying ever since they started distributing visas like popcorn, like chocolate candy, he's saying there are people I've never heard from countries which I never knew existed. He said, it's the strangest countries in the world. He said, whether it is Africa as a continent, you hear just the popular places like Nigeria or Somalia or whatever. He says they'll give you places, you'll be like, did that place exist? Or somewhere in Europe or somewhere in, he said, Far East. He's saying people from exotic cultures, while that is good, he said it has just contributed to traffic. And he hates the traffic because it ends up wasting minimum 2 hours riding. And he paid a massive premium to ensure that the traffic was not there. That is number one. Second is obviously parking ticket. Parking tickets are way too expensive. He pays the whole money, whatever, but he said it does have a dent. Okay. Thankfully, because he's at a very senior level position, the company takes care of his expenses there. They have a lot of vacancies I was surprised about this because I thought, they've put hiring on freeze. He said, no, we have a lot of vacancies. We are opening up various divisions. Problem is, we are unable to execute our plan because we're not finding the right people. He said, if you find someone who's right and someone who's new, eventually they move, they try different options. They're constantly looking out for jobs. We don't put a ban or anything. That was before. But now we have started to create new policies that once we take you, there is a minimum period by which you have to sign a bond. Um, his opinion was Indians are absolutely misusing AI, and they are it borderlines to the point of cheating other people with wrong information. Like initially, they used to employ people after the resume and interview, and people say, "Yes, yes, I know the job, perfect candidate." But he said, once you get them on board, you're like, he claimed he knew all this. He claimed, but then he doesn't know. He cannot deliver as per standards. In fact, he even surprised me by telling me, even Filipinas or Europeans and all that, he's saying they've started to use AI to look beautiful and attractive, and when we interview them face to face in our office, we have to look at the this thing and we are shocked. They're nowhere near what they are. They try to make themselves look younger, and because they don't have time for all this bullshit, established company, they don't even conduct the interview. Thank you very much. We'll get back to you. And they're like very shocked. Why? Saying your photograph doesn't match. I'm sorry. Straight away, right on the face. Uh, for other candidates where technical skills is involved, they draw up because you can't measure technical skills in almost every area perfectly. They always give them a probationary job contract or a temporary contract because they have a very strong legal team. It's a sizable company. It's a pretty large one. So they give them a temporary probationary contract, and they have certain metrics. If they don't meet the metrics, thank you very much. Here's your money. Bye bye. Okay. So he's saying there's no gray area. You either perform, and we let them know. He told me this that to his surprise, many of them when they come to know that you're going to be on probation and you're going to be evaluated for the next 3 months, some of them decide not to continue because they were expecting a confirmed contract. He said, we don't give them that. And many a times, this is for the secretary admin position, he says, whenever we see a perfect essay or a perfect job, we know it's an app, Grammarly or anything else. We give them a laptop, okay, right in front of us. They have to do what we tell them, whether it's write a letter, draft a legal copy, or whatever. And he says majority of the times, unfortunately, they fail. Majority. It's not even 50%. He said there's hardly 10% of them who can do it as what they've shown. Indians in the Middle East, they ask for much more higher salaries. The ones who have a job ask for sun, moon, and stars. And he said it becomes very, it is not practical to employ such people. And we don't blame them. We are not saying that they don't deserve it. But we would rather have someone whom we can invest and take forward for at least for the next 5 to 10 years. That is the kind of relationship that they're looking. It's not that they are cheap Charlie or they underpay. Someone at a senior level role, they will pay you. And here's one more surprising thing that I didn't expect. He said that they employ people sometimes over 40, over 50 also. But then they need to know that they have enough reasons to stay, like their family or their wife or their kids. And not being coachable, but can they be flexible enough to adjust to the corporate culture that they have? Most people, what he has stated in his company, once after they join, they do not leave until retirement. So the senior management, they take care of people who join them. However, the salaries are not exceptionally high in terms of the market, but The job security is exceptionally strong. Training is provided, and they take care of them. Uh, they also um, they also tend to pay for take care of their children's education. That is provided you have completed a certain number of years. They're not going to pay the entire fee. They'll pay a small structured agreement based on your seniority. They have a point system. What he did mention is before they were used to provide rental accommodation, they used to provide school for all the employees, the schooling allowance and petrol allowance and a parking allowance. Uh, but now they have stopped because he said it's not at all practical for them. They have to manage with the cost. And there was a little bit of displeasure and disagreement. Many wanted to quit. The senior management said, any one of you want to leave, you are free to leave. But once after you leave, you will not be welcome back. So they did have a 20% who were pissed off and they left. And this is what he told me, and I trust him. He said all the 20% now regret that they left. They literally are begging to come back, some of them even for, say, 20, 30, 40% less because they thought, they were, we always have this bias that we are better than the system. I asked him about his children. He said, even though he is in a big company, his children, they study in a very simple thing. He has communicated very clearly to his children that education should be based on merit, and he will support them provided they get exceptional marks. Exceptional. He will not take average marks. And if they can't get, then they have to start working. He's not going to support them to go into a Western country, whatever. He said, because he wants to let them know what is insecurity and what is fear. He even has them working for the company thanks to the management support at junior level positions. So they get some work experience after schooling or, after their studies. And they are treated normal like any other employee. So that is one good thing that the company is doing. He also mentioned, which I was very surprised, he said that there are a lot of fake jobs being advertised on LinkedIn. How did he know it's fake? He said that they have the HR department. So he instructed some of the HR people to apply for certain jobs. When they apply with certain nationality, like I'll not state because he told me not to state, certain nationalities with certain names of certain religion, when you apply, you just get a polite, we'll get back to you. Not junior level position, senior level. But when you apply for the same one with the slightly modified credentials and Western nationality, white, with the photograph being white and all that, there are almost immediate requests for interviews and meetings and all that. So he said corporate racism is very, very strong. He did highlight the fact that their company is employing a lot of Eastern women, especially from the war-torn regions, whereby or who are affected by all this, the problems. But they don't take very young men and women because they want a sense of adventure, but attractive enough where people want to talk to you, because a lot of people go crazy for white skin. They have put them in sales, even though technically they're not up to the mark. So, and they don't pay them very high, but they don't put a lot of pressure. So they kind of take care of them in that segment. And once people get visually attracted, then they put them on to the technical person. He surprised me by telling me there are a lot of Africans that they're looking at, and Africans seem to really be talented and smart, provided you know who are the right people. Visas for Bangladeshis is under serious scrutiny. Visas for Nepalis have literally stopped. Africans is also having a problem. Pakistanis also another problem. And they're having a lot of challenges, especially because they have to have a mixed nationality. Indians, they don't want to have too many Indians because they tend to have a very clannish approach, even though he's Indian. So he said we always try to have different nationalities or different people. And one thing which which I found funny is he said if there's an Indian with a UK passport or Australian passport or whatever, he said we don't consider them. The reason being is the very fact that they were ambitious enough to want to get an Australian or Canadian or American passport showed that they want to earn more money. They're not going to take the same amount of money or less. So he said we always source from India the person with the same credentials, and it's always cheaper. Like in my previous video, I told you, an American, if you employ for a senior technical level, it's $150,000 a year. Same one if you get from a third world country, same skills, it's $15,000, almost 90% less. Okay. Last but not the least, this is for my friend and client who is right now based in Abu Dhabi and Alain. Abu Dhabi is the capital of UAE, but he is in the outskirts. After he is not in the busy area like Dubai is the Las Vegas, the hub. It's a very quiet place, very quiet place where he stays after Abu Dhabi, Alain, that area. So he said that they have projects which are confirmed by Abu Dhabi for the next 5 years. They got $1 billion contract, and they are very busy, very busy. They have been recruiting, and there are plenty of engineers, it seems, at their disposal. He lives in an area that is not at all expensive, that is not at all modern. Housing is for free for him. Education is paid off by the company because they live in a cheap area, very cheap, very affordable. And here's a funny thing. I'll give you an example without being specific. He gets only 15,000, like for example, okay, he gets only 15,000 dirhams in Alain, okay, 15,000. That itself, with the free education, free insurance, free accommodation, free support, extra whatever, petrol, everything. If he was working in Dubai, the same salary which he earns 15,000 would be around 45 to 50. So you see, based on where you're located, that is the kind of money that you will save. Because if he were to say, I'm getting 15,000, he'll be like, that's so cheap. That's a junior level's salary. But when you factor in, he gets 15,000, plus he gets accommodation, plus he gets food allowance, plus he gets medical insurance, plus he gets children's education. It's a massive chunk. Lucky for him that they are pretty happy living in a very simple area. Very simple. In fact, when I asked him, have the grocery prices and other things increased? He said, no, here it's very simple. We live a very simple life, homemade food. So we cut down a lot of our expense. In fact, he shocked me by telling me that he had taken a complete world tour for 2 months. He spent nearly 50, I think 50,000 dirhams traveling, and he is very enterprising, although it doesn't look like. And he has decided on certain countries which are not at all on the map, where he'll be investing a large chunk of money. So he'll be selling off his properties from India and investing it there. But yes, he does it slow and steady, so he'll have a legal team. So that was a shocker for me. And he said there are even countries where if you invest, you get the passport. Although he doesn't wish to migrate, he did get a chance to go to Canada. He did get invited to go Canada, Australia, but he refused because he realized he'd have to work from a junior level and start from zero. So this, what he's doing, traveling abroad, he is planning for his retirement, because he said that after you don't have a job anymore, you'll have to take your own visa. It doesn't make any sense. He said, I would rather be a citizen and don't have to do all these legal paperwork. He did tell me that they do not employ anyone with their own visa. They don't employ anyone who has all these creative visas from Dubai. They don't employ anyone who's on a husband, spouse visa because they don't stick around for long. Um, and They are very family oriented, very clannish, by the way. In his company, they take the same nationality, which I will not mention which it is. They have just two or three, and they just stick by the people that they know. So, maybe it's not like Dubai where you're under scrutiny for everything. It's not a very large company. They do employ locals, but the locals are handled by the main big local guy. And when I asked him, like, do you think anything is going to be changed in Alain, Musafa, the area after Abu Dhabi? He said, it'll never change. It has never changed. But he told me that when going to the Dubai, it's a nightmare. It's a total, absolute, utter nightmare. They hate going to Dubai. He said he went with his family, his wife, his kids. They said they couldn't stand it. And they requested, please, we just don't like it here. We want to go back. So they are very used to a very peaceful and quiet life. In fact, he even told me this. I subscribe to online learning, and even I encourage my children. And instead of going for movie theaters and all that, we subscribe to that Netflix, whatever, I don't know, some package, whatever they have. And lucky for him, because the company takes care of all the expense, internet is for free and all that. So instead, I keep a low profile, low expense, save the money, no need to show off. But when we have to enjoy, we enjoy it big, keep it to ourselves. And yes, they are looking for people, but the only people they are accepting is someone simple but with UAE experience. And they don't fall for the AI nonsense, whatever. It is always face to face. Do it and show it. You can't do it. Bye bye. That's it. So, anyway, this is what was shared to me by my contacts. I don't know if it offered any value to you, but I suspect for those who are, who don't fall for what is put in the media or looking to hear straight from the horse's mouth, this would have helped. Remember, these are the people I trust, who have had a relationship as a client, whom I've provided service. So I vouch for what they say. Any questions, let me know in the comment section. This is me signing off. You guys take care.